I want to welcome all of you to this Part of America program. Let me give you some background on why we're having this program. Earlier this year, Kemp Stuckey's One Others group began an analysis of paper 195 with the primary goal of finding clues to that perennial question: how can we do a better job of introducing more people to the Urantia Book? The success Paul and Monica Kemp have had doing just that in Uganda prompted me to invite them to discuss their work during the Heart of America program. They, in turn, have asked some of the young leaders of the Urantia movement, if I can call it a movement, to join us to tell us how the Urantia has affected their lives. But before we begin, I would like you to consider the beginning of paper 195, and I'm going to ask all of you to mute yourself if you could. This first quote, Alahiri, if I could get you to mute yourself, please. The first quote is from section 1, paragraph 5. At the time Paul stood up in Athens preaching Christ and him crucified, the Greeks were spiritually hungry. They were inquiring, interested, and actually looking for spiritual truth. And then this quote from section 3, paragraph 4, that which gave greatest power to Christianity was the way its believers lived lives of service, and even the way they died for their faith during the earlier times of drastic persecution. Monica has graciously agreed to lead and coordinate this discussion, so I will turn it over to her and Paul after Barbara leads us in a short prayer. Barbara?
Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. It's my joy and honor to offer a prayer for our meeting and some time of reflection on the spirit of Jesus' teaching after Pentecost, which Dwayne selected for our reflection this morning. Dear Paradise Father, and two parents, one combined in our Father on Paradise, we, your children, come to you as children today. When we come before you, our Nebadon universe parents, Michael of Nebadon, and our universe mother spirit, we have an opportunity on this planet Urantia to share in ways that have been illuminated by the teachings of the Urantia book. And as we do that this morning, we are reminded by Jesus himself that attraction of those who are spiritually hungry is more possible now than it ever has been with the wonders of our technology. So we are grateful, Mother and Father God, for these opportunities, and also to share our experiences in our various cultures. And we therefore think of the entire cosmic family of God, Jesus and his apostles, and what they taught us, and what we have from their marvelous time among us. But most of all, Mother and Father God, we really ask that you help us become more cosmically conscious of your presence, and thereby more spiritually perceptive as we work to get to know each other as brothers and sisters, all of one family, and loved so deeply and affectionately by you, our parents. I pray in the name of all that is holy and good, so may it be. Amen. And now we'll reflect for a few moments on those quotations. Again, after Pentecost, paper 195. Thank you again, dear Mother and Father God. And we'll begin.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. Monica, I know that you're actually pretty good at this. I watched you lead a program a couple of weeks ago, and I immediately realized that you could do this far better than I can. So I want to thank you for agreeing to do this. Go ahead, Monica.
Wow. Thank you for your kind words. And there might be an aggrandized version of my ability to do this. I didn't realize what I was agreeing to when Paul said. When he developed the site spiritualfamily.net, the first people that he attracted were CEOs, for lack of a better word, organizers, guides of orphanages. So then he said, okay, and then he offered to create websites for them to enable fundraising opportunities. So that's what he did, and that was basically it. And then he had on the site, he has all kinds of, he had the Words of Christ by Pato Banton, and a lot of them started to really get excited and interested and curious about where they came from. So enter the Urantia Book. And so many showed an interest. And then after that, so fast forward to August 2019, well, 2018, Moses came over was invited to Ontario, which is central Canada, by Presbyterian Church, and came over and visited. And while he was there, I sent him a laptop and Paul sent him a Urantia book. So then he went back home. He was listening to it in flight because his host would not allow him to infect the minds of the children in Uganda with the words of the devil. So Paul had given him a UPS and he listened to it on his flight back to Uganda. Then the next year, another reader paid for his flight to come over and stay with us for 3 weeks. And we did study of the book, of the Jesus Papers. And so we sent him back with 39 that we had here. And he commenced giving them out, one of whom was his blood brother, Andrew, Gumpy Andrew Cohen, who was a high school teacher of English, had less difficulty in understanding the concepts and the words. So, and he started to do workshops with his students. And I can't remember, was it 2019? Must have been, or maybe 2020. I think 2019. He did a 3-day workshop, Urantia Book introduction, but really it was just for language. And when his good Anglican boss brothers of the school heard that he was teaching this stuff, they just promptly fired him. So now he had and has no income ever since. So, and then many people started to come in, show interest in what this was. What the heck is it? People are excited about. Hard to understand. So they needed people who could read something and then translate it in their tribal language, because everything is tribal there. And English is the lingua franca, but only for the president, kind of thing. And now we've got the book. So that's it in a few minutes. So I first want to get to, hi, Julius. Salim is here. I want to see who's here. Now I want to see Kato Aluhire, because I want to practice. Okay, you're off. Thank you.
Kato is here, Mani.
I see him. Thank you.
Angelo's here. Yeah, okay.
Angelo's here, and you're all on mute. Please stay off mute. Stay on mute. unless you've been invited to speak. And I'd like you to practice Julius Salim, Kato Aluhire, Angelo. Can you just, I don't know if you can do this. Can you practice your hand raising? It's under more on the right-hand side at the bottom. And it'll say a few things. I'm on a tablet. It says raise hand. Now I just raised my hand. Did you see that, Kato Aluhire? Can you practice that, please, so that we'll know when you want to talk as opposed to just jumping in, because you'll all have something valuable to say, and we want to hear you. I'm going to go to, I want to go to Salim first, please. Salim, brother, I'm guessing that you can hear me. I'm guessing that you will
Yes, good
unmute.
evening.
Where are you? There you are, brother. What time is it there in Pakistan, please?
It's 9:19
PM.
p.m. here in Pakistan.
Okay,
So
very good.
accept my
Very
greetings
good.
from Pakistan.
Thank you. And we do, and accept them from Canada and the United States and Uganda. So, Dwayne, I'm so sorry. I missed what it is. Are we looking for how the revelation has made an influence in their life? What has attracted to them? Tell us each how long you've had the book. Salim, I'm going to start with you, please, because I know you've had it one of the longest here. Could you do that for us, please? And let's just keep this to under 5 minutes. We have quite a few people and we want to hear everybody first, and then we can go back to you later. Does that sound fair?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Salim.
Okay, thank you
How
for your
long
time.
have you had the book?
In 2017, I got the book and I started reading it. And but unfortunately, I can't read it regularly. And then you know what happened with me. 1.5 year I was facing incident. So again, sorry, there is a shutdown. So let me. There is a shutdown problem here, electricity problem in Pakistan. Hope you understand. Just give me a second. Okay. So you can see me? Okay.
That's a yes.
So I want to come to the main point. Last month, we started a revelation movement in Pakistan. And before this, I want to share with you that we are working on disciple making movement, and we have alliance and a lot of work for the Jesus here. And we were working on the Jesus way for discipleship, spiritual multiplication, family discipleship, kids ministry, Sunday school ministry, youth ministry, adult ministry. The focus is to save the souls. And last month, we had a seminar, and 45 participants joined us in 5th Epochal Revelation program. And it was our first seminar. And now again, last Saturday, 14th of May, we have another seminar in another new place. And as you were there, also many women and girls joined us, many youth leaders joined us. And always it is my wish that we bring the fresh blood towards Jesus, because it is most important, and specifically kids and youth. I don't know about the other world, but here in Pakistan, our youth and our kids are not safe. So that's why it is very important to keep them in spirituality. You know, many of the social apps are spoiling our kids, cartoons, movies, they are spoiling. But with this, we are trying our best to bring them to the right path. So in this seminar, latest seminar, 14th May, we brought the youth, and they were very encouraging. I gave them almost 1 hour and 30 minutes presentation about Revelation. Sorry, about Urantia book, and all were excited because the things which were not discussed in detail in the Bible or are in Urantia book, and they were excited, and they told me how we can get this book, from where we can get this book. And when I tell them the price of the book, they were surprised. Oh, we can't afford, this is very expensive. Then I told them, no, don't worry. Our Urantia fellowship and many of our UB family are willing to send us free books if you really want to read these books. So many uh, have requested me that please give us books. As you know, uh, Brother Soren gave us 6 books, and I distributed, and I also shared with you the pics as well. And Brother Darren sent me also 5 books, which is on the way. I am waiting for the books, and also another friend, Bill Rocap, also sending me 4 books. So I am waiting for the books. As I get the books, I will share with the people who are interested. So with this, the main problem in Pakistan is language. Everyone cannot study in English. So many time I requested that we have to translate into our national language, Urdu. If we get the translation as soon as possible, then we distribute to many people, and hundreds and thousands of people will start reading Urantia in Pakistan. Because right now the latest study is most important, which is fifth epochal, and all the latest study is present in Revelation, Urantia book. So with this Zoom meeting, I also request all of you, please support us in translating this book, so that in this year, it is my plan to translate the Jesus papers, the life and teaching of Jesus. So if you have any question regarding our working or our outreaches, you can ask me. Thank you for your time. Yes, please.
Thank you, Salim. Any questions for Salim? First, excuse me, Moses, I'm so glad you're here. Could you go on mute, please, while you're getting yourself settled? Okay, questions for Salim.
What, Salim, what was the name of the language you want the Urantia, that you're translating the Urantia book into again?
It's thank you, sir. Good to see you here, and greetings from Pakistan. Our national language is Urdu.
Urdu.
Urdu, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Salim, I don't know how sensitive a question that this could be, but I'm wondering if you have to be cautious about sharing your interest in the Urantia book in Pakistan. I know in some countries there are those who could lash out against those who study religions that are not part of the mainstream. Do you have to be cautious there? Is there any fear of sharing the Urantia revelation where you live in Pakistan?
Yes, basically this is a Muslim country, and all you can say 10% is Christian population and 90% is Muslim. So we are in minority here. Uh, but I tell you reality, and maybe Sister Monica and Brother Paul shared with you all our working, and whatever we have done in Pakistan. We had 2 seminars here, and all the people are excited in reading. definitely, it is a natural thing. We face sometime problems, and many people are opponent, become opponent of us. But right now, basically, we are very choosy in bringing the people. First of all, I am working on my social circle, and especially pastors, leaders, and evangelists, and women ministry leaders, Sunday school teachers, and educated people, because it is very easy to train and deliver new things and new ideas to educated people. So all the people are excited. That's why I have demand for the Urantia books, and many of the participants tell me that we are not unable to read it into English. So please, if possible, uh, translate this book into Urdu so that we can easily read and understand this. Thank you. Yes, please.
Any other questions? First of all, Moses, great to see you. Do you know how to mute?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Kato Aluhiri, I saw your hand up. Did you want to speak now?
Myself or Kato?
Aluhiri Narasis, Kato. Did you want to speak? Your hand is up. Thank you very much, Salim. Thank you for the questions, people. And that's Urdu, U-R-D-U. Kato Aluhiri, going once, twice. Did you want to speak? Maybe he said he'll be back later. Who's got the host here? Is it you, Dwayne? Can you see if anybody else's hand is up? Before
Mine is up.
Yes, I
Okay.
see Alice Wood has her hand up.
Please
Alice.
go ahead, Alice.
So Salim, I have a question about just the way that the book gets studied, since not everyone reads English. Maybe not everyone reads English at a level that is necessary for reading the Urantia book. So, you know, in the United States, we often meet in study groups and everyone holds their book. They take turns reading and they just kind of go through it and discuss it as they work their way through a paper. I'm wondering if that is similar to what happens in Pakistan, or is it more of a, you know, one person who reads English well will read it or will discuss it, and most of the discussion happens in Urdu?
Yes, thank you for your good question. This is very interesting question. So, sorry, what's your good name?
But my name is Alice.
Alice. Okay, Alice, thank you for your interest. So this time, almost 10 to 15 people we have in our team who can read and understand English. And in our seminar and study discussion, we select the passage or paragraph, like we are studying from the Jesus papers, and we discover the many stories and we share with each other right now. And I myself do the translations. And in our two seminars, Brother Paul and Sister Monica came online on the Zoom meeting, and they also answer the many questions in our live session. So always I try to translate wherever there is a need of translation, and also I interpret online sessions. Yes, please.
Roland, I believe you have a question too.
Yeah, it's more of a general question for everybody, I think. Is the Urantia Foundation involved in the translation of the book into your language, I wonder, for the Pakistan? And has anybody asked them to do that? Just a general question.
Yes, I have wrote to Brother Paul and Sister Monica, and they are trying to arrange the translation possibilities. And I requested them that almost we need 4 to 5 people for the translations, and all the people will work daily like 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 hours daily on the translation of the papers. And we start from the Jesus life and life and teaching of Jesus. And because you know the big part of the Urantia book is comprised of the life and teaching of Jesus Christ. So we shall start from these papers, last fourth part of the book. And what we need, as I requested to Sister Monica and Brother Paul, first of all, we need a printer, a good printer, so that whatever we translate and type, so we can have a proofreading daily, and we so that we can compile the daily papers, the finalized paper. And almost 3 to 4 people will help me in translation. And if possible, uh, we shall pay them on the monthly basis. And for this, we shall also start a Urantia library in Pakistan. And Brother Soran also added Urantia library online on his website, urentialibrary.com. And he also mentioned there that we have 6 books and my address and all things about me. He's also mentioned there, and he has mentioned that we have a digital library right there in Pakistan. But as we have no physical office and no physical place where we can meet up, so every time we have to acquire a place for the meetup. And if we get a you can say small office for our weekly and monthly meetings, then it will be great to us. So these are the most important things. We need the printer, the office, and the some financial support for the team, so that they can work full time with us into translation of the Urantia book into Urdu. Yes, please. Thank you.
Paul, I think you have a question.
Yeah, I was just saying, one way we can facilitate increasing interest in Pakistan is there's a lot of beautiful and some very short videos and presentations. Salim and I translated the PowerPoint presentation into Urdu, so all the text on the presentation was Urdu. And we're now engaged in creating sound files for each of these presentations. And so what it allows, if there's it's just 40 or 50 people in the room, a large screen will put the text on, but if we translate it also into Urdu, then everybody in the room can get the full information. So if anybody has small videos or presentations and things like that, we could work with the team in Pakistan that's doing a translation and translate some of those into Urdu that he could use in his presentation.
I don't see any other hands up. Monica?
Okay, thank you. Angelo, can you hear me? Oh, is Innocent there? Because he has to go,
Yes.
is that why?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, Innocent, you're on. They like to, oh no, you're going to talk. They like to know how long you've been reading the Revelation, what you have read, how it has affected you. Why do you want this book in your life? And you have, between 5 and 10 minutes to give everybody a chance. Is that okay?
Yes. Thank you. I'm glad to talk to you this evening. Here in our country, it's evening. I'm Innocent Nwatwine from Uganda district. Right now, I'm away from the district. I'm in Kampala at the university doing my last papers of the semester. But I happen to be the leader of Urantia movement in Uganda district. I was introduced to Urantia by my friend called Derek, who linked me to Brother Paul. That was last year. And I was praised and developed a need to dig deep and know what the book was all about. And fortunately, Brother Paul and Derek gave me time to explain free as I read and got more interested. We started by registering the movement, the organization, so that we can undertake Urantia activities through the organization, since you will know of the oppositions from the pastors and other leaders that they would term us as a legal operating entity. So we thought that we would use that chance to register it as an organization and have those activities under that organization. The main purpose for the organization was to bring together the Urantia readers that were becoming many. The members in the Uganda district were becoming many, and many students were interested in it. There were about 15 to 20 students that were already in possession of the book that was sent through Pastor Moses in Kampala that used to deliver those books to those students. So I happened to get a chance to be their leaders, but I already found some of them with the book even for the past 2 years where they were reading. So I came in to do the management and organize the workshops, organize the meetings, how we would see the movement grows in the district. Last year, we were given a chance for Pastor Moses that came to Uganda district, who has been reading Urantia Book, who has been with the book for at least past 3 to 4 years. So we are encouraged to have the encouraging words for him to show us how we can read the book, because most of them had no knowledge of reading the book. And so Pastor Moses and his wife came to Uganda district purposely to introduce us how we can be able to read the book and how the papers can turn to be meaningful to our lives. So last year we held about 3 workshops, and in this year, mid-Feb, we had a conference in a neighboring district, which is Kamenge district, and through the movement and through the connections, we have been able to reach about 400 people that have at least had a word or two about the Urantia book. We have 7 operating groups that are meeting on a weekly basis and have the readings, and we always get the feedbacks. We have most of the population, or most of our members are students, school goers, since most of the youth are the one that's shown interest in the book because of the language, English. More local people still find it hard to read the book because of the language, since most of villages in Uganda district, we have a language called Lunyankole, so they find it very hard for them to be able to translate or read the revelations and understand them better because of the language. Through Brother Paul and Sister Monica, we are able to be blessed with a printer that and the laptop that we always use to interpret some of the words in our local language and later print them to be distributed to those lady or men that are interested. because like the families of our students, you find the father do not know the language, do not know how to read English, and we find it a problem, and we use that chance to translate into our local language and distribute such papers to them. The big challenge that we have so far faced is opposition from the church leaders. But sometimes we come to agreement with them to say that the Urantia book does not have any opposition towards the Bible or towards any religion, since they consider another region in the district or another region in the country. And we find it a challenge to the extent we have to sometimes face the authorities and explain fully. But with God's willingness and help, some authorities come to understand that it is not opposing the Bible or opposing any religion. Some of our students have been able to use the liberation papers to write songs. We have like Prosper, is called John Prosper, that he's current at school, but he has about 2 to 3 songs that has really written from the liberation work, from the liberation papers. And the movement is growing. When these students are back from school, they introduce this book to their fellows at school, and seriously, they are doing a great work, and the response is not bad. However, of the opposition that I have told you, but regardless, we are still moving, and regardless, we know people will come to be introduced to this Urantia book, and people have benefited from it. We have seen students, or we have seen children that were not following like Jesus' teachings from the Bibles and whatever, but they have come to be in terms with the Urantia book. They have come to be encouraged by their fellows, that they see that they are reading the Revelations. Thank you.
Monica, I believe you wanted to say something.
Yes, thank you. First of all, Innocent, thank you very, very much. Brother Moses, are your children around? I hear some talking, and I wonder if you know how to put yourself on silent. That would be great. Innocent, I have a couple of questions. What do you think? No, first of all, I want to tell everybody, English is taught in school to the young people. You know how exciting this is and what this means? That it is the young people who are bringing this to their seniors, to their older members in the community. And we know what the Urantia book says about the youth going all the way. So we pray for that. Innocent, what do you think? Because you're saying the people are interested in the revelation. What do you think is attracting the people to the Urantia book? Remember that question. And the other one is, what is the message you give to them that attracts them? Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. But most people, all the new nutrients that we are seeing coming to the revelation is because of their fellows. They are influenced by their fellows, because we have seen students that have not have not been following Christian ways or regions, but through the Urantia book, through seeing us, through doing what they come to get attracted to the revelation, they gain influence their fellows to come to the revelation. The good thing, the English translation of the Urantia book can be read and understood by everyone that knows English, which really helped. And another thing, Sister Monica was asking, what do we always tell them? I would like to highlight on this paper that paper 196, 1 to 3, it says, saying that to follow Jesus means to personally share his religious faith. Most people that have read the Urantia book and the Jesus teachings and how he used to take himself when he was on his earthly father's work on the planet, most people feel they have to take themselves like how Jesus was taking himself for them to inherit the God's kingdom for them, to be called the God's children. I don't know if I'm answering your question, Sister Monica.
I'm not quite sure. It's just me and understanding you, brother. What is it that you're saying to the people again? You're telling them that this book will teach them that they are the children of God. What is it what is the promotion? What is the message that you say? I have a book. It's about
Now, the main content or the main message we are sharing is the love of the Father and the service of his children on us. We want them to experience the fatherly love. We want them to experience that we are always accountable to our fellows, to our neighbors. You extend such a love to them. Thank you.
Thank you. Dwayne, are there any other hands up and people?
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll take questions.
Roland has a question.
Hi, Brother Innocent. It's really great hearing what you have to say, and I'm so glad that things are going so well over there. It's just amazing. I have a question about are they taught anything about God being within them? What's called the thought adjuster, the divine monitor, that sort of thing. I wonder if does that appeal to them, that they know that God is in them?
Okay, thank you, brother. The most thing that we always first consider for the new entrants or for the new people that are introduced to this book is to first help them find God in them. That has always been the first step, to recognize the Spirit of God, to recognize that God knows them, to recognize that we have to live the perfect life that God has destined for us. This is through love. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't see any other questions. Does someone else have a question? Alice?
Yeah, hi. I'm curious if it seems more effective there to have the book spread just from one friend to another friend to another friend, or if it is more like evangelizing outreach. Which would you say is generally done or found to be more effective?
Okay, thank you, sister. To answer you on that, or to highlight on that, is because of the few books we have here and the limited number of the books, when we visit the village or when we happen to have a gathering in the village, we use the few books that we always have. This is where you find the existing members that have always having these books on their end. They are able to assist these books to the new entrants, and we assign them the person that can always help them. And you find the one book is rotating in about 5 to 7 groups in the different villages until when we print out these papers, and we start by asking the interesting papers that they feel they would like to read. No, it goes paper by paper so that they can be directed from from how Jesus started here, how he in his childhood up to when he started his journey of serving for his father.
You gotta turn to the right a bit.
Any other questions? Okay, I don't see any other hands, Monica.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, of the Ugandan leaders are left. I see Moses, I see Angelo, I see Mate. Please raise your hand if you would like to share how long you've had the book, what it means to you, how it has affected you, and your ministry with it. So please raise your digital hand. If you don't know how to do that, raise your physical hand and Dwayne will find you. Okay. And I didn't say Julius. I don't know if you're ready, Julius. If you're ready to count yourself in.
Okay. Now we're going to sit here for 5 minutes. Got it.
Somebody needs to mute. Do you see anybody, Dwayne, or do you want me to pick you?
Yeah. I try to keep up with where the noise is coming from and mute when I can.
Beautiful.
I'm often leery to do that because I don't know if that person will respond when I ask them to unmute.
They can hear you. They can hear you. Okay, Brother Mate, do you want to share your experience so far, please? Are you there?
He's here.
Oh, no, but are you able to talk? Oh, your background is noisy. Okay, how about Brother Moses, since you've had it the longest? Brother, where are you? Moses, I know you're there. You've been dying to talk for the last half hour. Moses? Okay. How's your internet? Is your connection not good? Is that why?
My connection is not good.
Okay. Okay.
Time later I'll be communicating.
Okay. Check in with. Did I check in with us later? Andrew, are you there? Did I see you, Andrew? No. Who did I see there come in? Yeah, I did. Andrew, how's your connection?
Yes,
Andrew.
I'm on now.
Beautiful. Okay, so you're just hearing what it is that we're sharing as leaders over there
Hello,
of
everyone.
the Revelation, your experience, how long you've
Hello,
had the book.
everyone.
Okay, hang on. Let's do one at a time here. Andrew?
Yes, please. Thank you so much for the opportunity offered to me to attend this meeting. In the course of the time, we've been trying to bring everyone on board who is reading the Urantia book.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. Can I go with Andrew first, and whoever was talking after that, please put your hand up so we know the order, because you all have something important to say. Andrew, do you want to talk for a few minutes there, please? Tell us how long you've had it, your experience with it, what it's mean to you in your life and your family.
All right, thank you so
got
much.
Andrew on. Just a sec, Andrew, just a sec. Dwayne, can you see who needs help? Just a sec, Andrew, please.
Andrew, I think Andrew is trying to talk. He should be, he's unmuted right now.
Okay, I just wondered where noise was. Okay, Andrew, I'm sorry. You go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Go ahead. Don't be shy.
All right. My name is Andrew Gumpi, and the Executive Director of Far Senders Urantia Book Fellowship Community, Kaliro, Uganda. I got the book in 2018. This book came to me as a gift from Bishop Kaharwa Moses. Professionally, I'm a teacher of English language and the literature in English. So I have an experience of reading different books, novels and plays. So it came as a gift from Bishop Kahalwa Moses and was like, I have a book. I'm sure I would like to read whatever is in it might help you. I started reading the book from 2018. Primarily, the book was really hard for me to understand. It was unique from the different books I had read before. But at some point, I realized it has a message related to the Bible. I continued. First and foremost, I went to the life and teachings of Jesus. I was impressed because it had a lot of information which is not provided in the Bible about the life of Jesus. Then I was so amazed and surprised to learn the bitter and the important truth that Jesus did not come purposely to die for us. He came us to give us a life to live, a new version of life. And he gave us a very simple instruction to follow. Love your neighbor the way you love yourself. So I picked the message. I used to read the book with my wife, but sometimes she was not impressed as she's not a reader of the books and was like, which kind of the book are you reading? Then in the long run, I could read and I tell her what I have read. You know what I've read? I've read this page and the information there is ABC. She started getting attracted to get more stories. Then finally, she became so close to the book. And after some time, we got more books. We have 4 from Bishop Moses. She got her copy. Then she was like, why don't we invite our friends? And we start sharing as well. Then the friends could also not really understand the concept. But I knew that was the experience I also had at first. What I did, I started sharing with them from what I have learned. I gave them the concepts. They also started getting used. And we made a team of 5 at first. Then after some 2 to 3 months, each one of them could invite a friend. They could come at my place. They say, hey, I've come with some friends of mine. Let them hear us talking. After some time, more people started coming. I could not call them. They would just come. The friend would invite a friend would invite a friend, and a friend would invite a friend. And then the place where I live would not accommodate us, and I could not tell them, please stop coming. Now a friend would bring a friend to the source. They thought I knew much of the book. So the information started spreading, and I realized I had no power to control it. I used to tell my colleagues that, you know what, we are many now. Why shouldn't we at least limit the number? Then they said, we cannot also limit. As I go, a friend would ask, where were you going? Then the following day would wish to come and find out what happens. And now I tried to share much by then. In 2019, I tried to share it with Sister Monica and Paul. And they would encourage me to continue sharing with them, associating with them. And then a situation arose where the present church leaders would suspect us to have a coup against their churches. These people, they started naming us Illuminati cult members. And some government officials were concerned. They started inviting me, can you explain more about your group? We heard you have a very huge group. What is happening? Are you planning for something? Then I would give them the book. They also read for themselves. Unfortunately, they could not understand. And until they said, you must keep yourself where we can watch you. And in the very year 2019, I lost my job from where I was teaching. Students got me with the book. I was teaching them literature. Then they said, sir, which kind of the book do you always carry? I said, this is my personal book. Can you try it, read? They also liked the book. And they started actually feeling like they should always read it. Then I was found sharing with them. The administration said, this man, they picked my book out from me. They said, you want to verify which kind of the book. They could not understand. They said, no, this man is an Illuminati guy, so we cannot proceed with him. Then I lost a job. But I thank Sister Monica and Paul, you stood with me in that situation when I lacked a job and a source of living. But I did not lose hope. I continued with the book because I knew the book had brought a new beginning. So I started sharing with my colleagues. What was impressive on this, when my friends learned of my situation, every evening they would carry some food for me, for my family. They would carry some cassava. They say, now, man, you are sharing with us how to love. And then one of my colleagues asked, you know, me, I don't have a wife. I come from my grandmother's home. But she always asks me where I always go. She's illiterate. I cannot tell her, and she understands. What should I do? I told him, please try to explain whatever we study in the most local way. Then the following week, he came with the grandmother. We started interpreting, translating in the local languages. I realized the woman loved the stories. And when we got to around 10 members, that's when that was the first time I requested the brain and conveniently. Life continued. And now many more people came. Many more students came. I could not call any of them, but friends would invite friends, friends invite friends from different districts and areas. And I would ask another one, would say, may I have some group where we meet also? Can you please allow us to be part of you? And I said, no, I cannot manage something very far from me. So what we shall do, organize yourself, manage yourself, and then wherever you need my advice and support, I will offer. So more groups cropped up. And now I started when Brother Paul said, I need to have the numbers. Please tell me your group members, your groups and where they are located. I started communicating. The information came up. I totaled up to 781 members. I was surprised how the message traveled as far as I could not even imagine in the beginning. Then the government was also concerned, the local leaders, of how our message was spreading and the groups created. I realized we have to get an umbrella that combines us, that can contain us, that can define us in the community, so that we are not always called the Illuminati guys, so that we can look sensible. Then we thought of registering as far senders as a local-based organization. We are handling many activities. We have counseling, guidance and counseling among the activities. We have the Giving Hands program with an intention of spreading the Urantia message practically and theoretically. We believe that those who cannot understand when you speak to them, when you act, they will understand. When you are preaching, when you are talking about love, please love your neighbor, help your neighbor. That's the best way you can show love. So when they don't understand, we act, we show love by actions. So many more people joined by the way we could handle our things, especially when a member lost a relative. We showed real love. We shared experiences. We have been moving together. Where there is a challenge, we stand together. And this has attracted many more people to join. You find them coming because of the way we have been doing. Now we appreciate every member's effort. Whoever comes, we say you have come, but our motive is to share the life and teachings of Jesus. Jesus stayed the days he spent on earth to show us how a true believer, how a transformed man can live, not specifically to live the way he lived, but to learn which kind of a person who is transformed can be. So we try to go by the instructions, and our actions has attracted many to come. Many have come, and to convince you and to tell you the fact is that not all can read the Urantia book, but some of them are even illiterate. But they associate with us, they pick from our actions, they pick from our interpretations, and we move with them. So it is a broader kind of organization. I want
Very
to thank.
good, brother. Oh,
are
you finishing up, please? Because we want to have questions and let others share as well.
All right. So I want to appreciate, I had the challenge of meeting all these groups as they are from different districts and far from me. Once thanks Sister Monica, you came up and you supported me with the transport mean. It was hard for us to communicate with the leaders as they have no smartphones. I thank that you helped us with the printer and the computer. So some papers, the letters, the what, we type, print, and send. I want to thank Monica and Paul. I've always produced many questions from these members and you have helped me to solve them. Otherwise, I would have a lot to say, but I won't be the speaker of the day. Thank you.
Lovely. Lots of great thoughts and information and knowledge. Okay, questions, people?
I don't see any hands. Okay, Alice has a question.
Hey, Andrew, thanks for speaking to us. Could you talk more? Well, so if I understand correctly, when your group started getting pushed back from the local leaders, you responded by making sure that you were seen as doing good actions, doing good things for the community. Can you talk more about how that took place? Like what kinds of actions were done? What kinds of good works were done? Would you guys just do that as a group or was it more individually?
All right, thank you so much. We work as a team in most cases. So where a member has identified a serious need and a neglected need, remember on the ground we have churches, the Catholic, the Protestant, the Muslims, but there are people who are neglected because they cannot afford to pay tithe and offerings in church, and they don't care about them. So as for us who know that we have the same Father, we come from the same source, and the Father is taking us equally. So for us, we organize, we identify the need. If the need is a medical need, if the need is sanitation around the home, cannot sweep, cannot wash, cannot construct better structures around, like the stand, the plate stand, the toilet, the latrine, pit latrine. So we source from within the members, those who have the ability. Then one would say, may I can slash, we go, we visit as a team. Then where this person needs counseling, because we have those ones. They are okay, they have everything, but they have psychological problems. They have domestic violence, misunderstandings. An individual or two who is having the capacity, we appoint him, he goes or her, they talk to those people. And that's how we offer help. Sometimes we choose to visit health centers around. We offer guidance to patients and counseling. We clean health centers to show love that we really care about the lives of people. And we really take them as our brothers and sisters. Sometimes we solicit as members, as I told you, we are many. Please, if you can afford 100 shillings of Uganda, let us, we are going to buy some soap and share with those ones who are really affected. Without, sometimes even Sister Monica has been giving, can give, then we top up, we move around, we share with those ones. And that is the practical love. When they ask, why do you do this? Are you a church? Are you an NGO? We say, no, we are God's children. What has brought us here is to remind you that you are a God's child and you are part of us, and we highly welcome you. And that is how members have joined us, but not necessarily that every member who is in under far senders can read the Urantia book. They have come by the practical gospel we preach.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
I'm going to say that, excuse me for a sec, Dwayne, when he says FER Ascenders, F-E-R is what he's saying, Fifth Epical Revelation Ascenders. And I think, he has incorporated that organization to remain out of arm's reach of the churches and the religions. So that when he refers to that, that's what he's talking to. A few of them have decided, yeah, if they incorporate, then they're a government NGO and safe from. Andrew, that's awesome. If there's no other questions, we can pass on to another, or what are you thinking, people?
I see no other questions.
Okay, Andrew?
Has Angelo had a chance to say
Okay, we'll bring him on now. Andrew, could I get you, thank you very, very, very much. That was awesome. Can I get you to mute, please, hun? And Angelo, you're welcome to come in. Love to hear you. Thank you for.
I have asked him to unmute.
Can you hear us, Angelo? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Angelo. You're
Hello,
on.
can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can. Will you tell everybody what part of Uganda you are in and your experience with the revelation personally and communally, if that's a word? Thank you.
And if you could turn your video on as well, Angelo.
Actually, that might be a data issue, so it'd be smarter to just let him decide, okay?
Just I don't know whether you can.
We can hear you. Are you having internet problems? We hear you each time you talk. Just start and we'll see how you make out, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm Angelo Taremwa. I'm a professional health educator and I'm the founder and the director of Golden Ages Foundation Uganda. And I came to know about the Urantia book in 2019, that was in May, through a friend, through a family friend, that is Brother Paul and Monica, who introduced me to the Urantia as I was working on my book, as I was authoring my first book. I got to know about the Urantia book. I got in that opportunity to know more about the Urantia book, and I had the privilege to introduce it to colleagues who have appreciated it. Since that time, I have assisted a number of people, and that totals to 43 individual readers, and who have showed a willingness to introduce the same Urantia book to other people. Throughout the course of the Urantia book I've really tried to have people get to know about the harmony between science, philosophy, and then religion. As we know that the Urantia book is in 4 parts, the most interesting part, it is part 4, which talks about the life and teachings of Jesus, which spells out each and everything that is not really documented in the Bible. As we are moving on, I gotten some other people who have gotten interested, but the challenge is they have not gotten a chance to get their individual copies. And so I've much to make sure that I get the copies for them and they get to know about the Urantia book. But short of that, we've encountered some challenges that ranges from these individual people that have introduced Urantia to, they have schedule program, they have busy schedules, and so they have not so much been in touch with everyone to within the study groups. But at least we have gotten at least half of them who have really shown interest, whereby we've tried to bring them, those in Kabale, to form one group, and those in Kanungu. In Kanungu, we have so far formed 2 groups, whereby in Kabale, the group is made up of 6 people, and that of Kanungu is made up of, those 2 groups, each is made up of 5, making a total of 10 people who the progress of my groups yesterday but one, I just gotten a chance to meet my group in Kabale, and I had to connect with another brother who wasn't in my group, but we had these 2 groups joined together and we met. And so it was really a very nice milestone within the Urantia book fellowshipping. Really, we do appreciate each and everyone's effort, because we are really getting to understand, we are really getting to know how to live with depicting the Jesus's ways of living. Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you, Angelo. And what part of Uganda are you in, please? Angelo, can you still hear me?
He's muted himself.
Okay. Angelo, if you can hear, if you just want a quick reply where you are in Uganda, please.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
please.
could,
Okay, he's talking.
is he on? Okay.
Go ahead, Angelo. He muted himself again. No, he's
Okay,
on.
Paul. We're funny.
He may be trying to talk, but we're getting some issues here. He's trying to talk, but we're not hearing him. Thank you, Angelo. We can't hear you. I know you're trying, but I believe Paul has a question, so I'm going to ask him if he can say what he wants to say. Paul?
Okay, Angelo is in the more the north west area, just below Port Portal. And interesting, when he did his second Marler grant, he established a study group in Kabali, which is where he's just gone, I think yesterday, to meet with Julius, who has also helped taking up some leadership in that area. And Kabali is closer to the Congo border, further south in Uganda, southwest.
Mhm. Southwest, southeast, okay.
Nick Stefro, do you have a question?
Yes, just a general observation. I noticed all the speakers emphasize part 4 of the book and the relationship to Jesus. I was just curious if there's any interest in the front end of the book.
May I answer that? I would say because the 4th part, Nick, is easier to comprehend English-wise. And the first part, yes, individually they dabble, but the language is so challenging, as you and I as Anglophones and good English students understand, that starting with the Jesus papers is one thing. And don't forget, Jesus' message, Jesus always stood aside to bring everybody to the Father. So while some people think, well, it's not Jesus, it's the Father. Yes, it is, but he was the visible representation of our Father. He steps out of the way and he passes everybody over to the Father. So I'm finished preaching. Thank you.
Clint, I think you've got a question or two. You're muted, Clint.
Sometimes that's how people like me to talk best, muted. But I have 2 questions for the Kemps. Number 1, I have on my date book a Africa Urantia Thon occurring May 22 of this year. So my first question is, do you know anything about that? Are you involved? And the second, or maybe you're sponsoring it, I don't know. And the second question is, have either, I know we've had a little pandemic problem here lately in this world, but the question is, have either of you had the opportunity to go to Africa yourselves in person, live and in person, or do you have plans or hopes to in the future?
So the quick answer to that last one is no, we haven't been, and it depends on the rules. We can't take, we're restricted here for travel in Canada. Secondly, no, we're not part of it. I think that's the UAI, isn't it? Doing the Urantia-thon in May 22nd. And yes, they are hitting Uganda, and we are going to tell the people that it's between 5 and 9 their time, so that they can check in. Paul, anything else you want to?
Yeah, I put a notice up for that event. And also I wanted to mention Pato is doing a whole African tour. So he's going to Kenya, to Uganda, to Congo, and various places on tour in Africa as well.
Roland, do you have a question?
Yes, I just wondered if the the untold story has been if that's been sent over to Uganda, or would it be of any value now to have that or not? Just a thought.
Yes, it would, Roland, but it's a cost issue, a big cost issue. Who's going to pay for the books? Who's going to pay for the the postage, the transport? I have sent them. It's a child's version, but it's a really good child's version that is free on the urantia.org site, written by a woman, I can't remember her name. I've sent that to some of the leaders, and she's even done the first parts of the book. with it. So, I mean, it's a simplified version and, whoops, okay. All right, I'm out of there.
Okay. Arthur's wife, is it Linda Ann?
Linda Ann, yes. We have a friend who's helping us support the orphanage, His Grace Children's Home, and we're sending a number of Bibles to Uganda, and included with those Bibles is my personal copy of the Untold Story of Jesus. So there will be that one book, that copy will be in Uganda once we get that shipment sent.
Okay, I see that Julius has his hand raised. Did you want to say something, Julius?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm glad to meet this big team. My name is Mrs. Julius, and I'm a father and a husband. I have one child. She is 11 months. I'm currently in Kabare. I have a group, it is called World Gospel Ministries, Urantia Fellowship Kabare. We aim at uplifting the Urantia Book revelations to the surrounding communities. And within the short period I have become a member. By now, my group has 10 people, and my wife also has a group. They are 12 women. The group is called Urantia Women's Group. It is located within in Nyabushabi, away Kabare town, that is 5 kilometers. So I thank Sister Monica and Brother Paul. On Sunday, we had a combined study group about the Urantia. We had Brother Angelo Tarimwa. I think you know him. He has almost spoke. So his group were 6 people, and then mine, we had only 12, making a total of 14. But the Urantia women group did not come because it was far. So they had arranged to meet on Monday, yesterday. So of which, to make this good news, my wife is the one who heads it. Yesterday, she met the group. It is composed of 12 women, 12 plus my wife, that the number becomes 13. So we are glad that we are new, and we are very happy to see that within almost like 1 month, even 1 month hasn't ended, but we are having a lot of people who are willing to join. And so far, we have a total number of 23, my group and with the group of my wife in total. So that is a big achievement. We thank everyone who is at least giving something to us, because we can't be able when we don't have collective efforts. More so, majorly with these study groups, especially the one I'm heading, the main aim is to have the outreaches of the Urantia Book
revelations at least to be spread to every person. Especially, I'm very sorry, here there is a power has gone, but I will keep communicating. There is no problem until it comes. So, when we have these study groups, we normally converge in one place, and we normally communicate everyone to come and attend with us, so as we can have more knowledge, understand, and explain. So explain this revelation to every person to understand, to know the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. Yes, I'm very glad meeting a group of people. I'm very happy to be among this team. I think this is good. Thank you, Sister Monica and Paul. I have no words, but about the women Urantia group, is headed by my wife. Currently, she is preparing for us supper, but she has said I can talk and explain more about the group. Yeah, as I sent some photos also, I think she sent you some photos showing how they met yesterday. They were 13. And the main aim also is aimed at bringing Urantia Book Revelations closer to the community. So they also have, they also do handcrafts, making like crafts. They make hats, they make baskets. Another, they can make animals using their hands, so as they can also get some source of income to survive their families. So that is very good. And also they have guidance and counseling, because now if you are a mother and you are a father, you know issues of families, you have also to be guided, and the Holy Spirit have to be with them in whatever they are doing. I have to continue because I have much for you, and also you are ready to know about us. We meet 4 times in a month, which means in a week, it is only once. Yeah, every group has to meet once in a week, so which means in a month, those are only 4 times. We are also hoping to have more study groups in a near future, to also spread to the neighboring areas, like for example, the Urantia Women Group, which is headed by my wife. It is located within Nyabushabi, 5 kilometers away from Kabare town, and it is nearby Ruchiga district. So when since the group is also nearby Ruchiga district, we also have a hope of also having outreaches in the nearby district. So as by time goes on by this, let's say like when we reach in August, we also have got some study group in Ruchiga district, as also they continue to expand until we are done. Another one is the Urantia book. What I have learned when I was given the book was given by Brother Kemp had talked to Brother Angelo, who has talked, he is from Kanungu. So he also gave me that book. But before opening that book, there sides, there are, when you open this, there here backside, I read like 2 things which gave me courage about the good news. And it was saying, you are not alone. The Urantia Book is your connection to a friendly universe filled with loving support, including the support of a growing international community of Urantia Book readers. So with this one, I got more courage. With here, I'm going to meet a friendly universe, which is filled with the love and support of Jesus Christ. I'm very glad. Thank you very much for whatever you are doing there. Then again, also I read where they were saying, the book also here it is saying, do you wish you could know more about Jesus' life and how he lived it? If so, this Urantia book is definitely meant for you. Yeah, that if you want to know about this book, how Jesus Christ lived, so you have to be a friend to this book. So with what is all contained in this book, it is me, I also summarized it in 3 parts. It talks about the life and true teachings of Jesus Christ. Also, when we are in our study groups, we tackle it in 3 parts. That is the life and true teachings of Jesus Christ, and then how to live, how Jesus lived, the life of Jesus, how to live, and then what can we do, or how can we pass this book to the community also to know the truth, love, support revealed in the Urantia book. Yeah, so that is
Beautiful,
how
brother. I'm just going to ask you, just finish off because we've got a couple others yet to go. Okay, if you could just finish off that lovely presentation.
Yes, I'm going to finish up. We have also some challenges, and these challenges are we have language barrier, whereby we have some women, like in the group of my wife, there are some women who cannot speak English. So, but we are trying our level best also to explain to them what is in the book and what it talks about. So for the shortage of, we have a shortage of books, but for the books, we ordered and they are coming very soon. So I'm glad to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to take Moses right now. If you have questions after for Julius, that's Julius is a Christian pastor and is new into the book, and he seems to have taken it. And you can see, because they're basically Christian, that Jesus is. They ask us, they write their questions. Okay, so can you just tell us what happened between when he was 12 and 30? Oh my gosh. Okay, so you have the book. Let's go with that. We're going to go with Moses now quickly, if we can. Moses, I hope you're.
All right. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters on the planet. From Uganda, based in central part of Uganda, Bono Kaliro district.
Excuse me, Moses. Sorry to interrupt, but we are getting some interference. Not sure if there's something going on in the background there.
All right. Can you hear me
Moses, it sounds like it might be a loose connection there. Something. There's interference there. There's noise in the background.
Okay, please change that back and see. Oh,
There,
can you
now
hear
it's
me
cleared
now?
up. Yeah, it's cleared up.
Please. Yeah. So, I am very grateful for the work done, the work of the new revelations in Africa. I got the first chance to be introduced to the new revelations through our great brother and sister, Paul and Monica from Nova Scotia. We thank God that in 2017, to travel to their home, where I got my first training in 2 weeks when I was. So
Moses, do you have like a radio or another device
it was
on?
so
Anything like that?
impressive.
Oh.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, Moses, I'm just thinking because we're getting some
Hello,
interference
excuse me.
and we're missing some of what you're saying. Do you have another device on, another computer, a radio, anything like that? No, okay. It's just we're missing so much of what you're saying. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Moses, I apologize, but you are getting, it does sound like we're getting some kind of interference or maybe a loose connection, as Paul suggested, or maybe some device in the background. So I'm afraid we're going to have to move on. And Moses, I apologize, but we have been going for quite a while. I did promise Salim an opportunity to make a comment. He had his hand raised a few minutes ago. Salim, are you still here?
Yes, thank you. I am still here, and I am really enjoying this opportunity to listen and meet from three main countries around the world: Canada, USA, Africa, and Asia. So there was a sister in the conversation. She was talking about a book, The Untold Stories of the Jesus Christ. So my question is, can I get a copy of this book if possible?
Who is your question directed to, Salim?
I don't know the name of the lady. There was a lady in the conversation, and she was talking about she has wrote a book on the title of Untold Stories of Jesus.
I don't know who you can ask. I mean, it's available on Amazon, and you can check with the foundation to see if any, or the fellowship, to see if anybody's going to respond to that. It's quite expensive. And then it has to be shipped over, brother. Anyway, we'll talk. We'll talk, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I just want to, Arthur, go ahead. Did you want to say something?
No, I just want to introduce Dave Onche. I don't know if you can see him. He's got the white headphones on, and I just wanted to say that Dave is our IT guy in Nigeria. So when you consider that the work of God can be done in every human occupation, he's got the IT. And he's the behind the scenes for the Spiritual Family Network. He designed our networking site, everything that makes it work in it, and all the troubleshooting he has to do with Paul. He's an essential part of the Revelation outreach, because it's because of the site that we're able to connect with so many people and allow the good news of the Revelation to get out to the world family. So David Onche, thank you very, very much. Do you want to say hi?
Yeah. Hello. Okay. I think. Yep. Thanks so much, Monica. So guys, I'm David. From Lagos, Nigeria. I am Paul. I designed the spiritualfamily.net network, and I'm the technical support engineer on there. And I'm also a Urantia Book reader. I got introduced to the Urantia Book by Paul when we first met. That was 2017. And the message had a lot of answers to my questions. And I really picked a lot from inside. And ever since, I've been so happy with the book. And I got a copy 2019 from one of the readers in Nigeria who Paul introduced me to. I've been quite busy with, working on the programming stuff, and I know I've not been quite available for meetings, but hopefully I'll be available as much as possible. All right. Thanks everybody, and nice meeting you guys.
Thank you, Dave. We appreciate you. I'm just trying to figure
Thank you, David. These are the people behind the scenes that don't get much press time or on air time, but work diligently for the outreach of the Revelation.
Dwayne, are there any questions or observations? I'd like to see if Mate is actually behind his picture there.
I don't see any questions at this time. Mate?
Yes, good evening to all of you from Uganda, and hope you are doing fine. I am passing by to say hi, though my network is not okay. And thank you for this congregation, Duane, Monica, and Kemp, for gathering everyone here. It's really amazing to learn.
Okay, thank you, Mate. Is there anyone else, Monica, who has not had a chance to speak?
I can't see anybody. Paul, did we get everybody? I would have liked to have heard Mate, but he's traveling. I think we got everybody. And what's that? Other than Moses. Sorry. Okay. So if anybody else has some final thoughts, because we've been on a great length of time, covered a lot of Ugandan and Pakistani territory. And
Julius has his hand up.
Okay, go ahead.
Got a quick comment, Julius?
My wife has come. She wants to talk about the group also, to introduce herself, so she can have the opportunity also.
Okay, Corsi, you're welcome to come on. Please make it short, because we've been on a long time, and we'd love to hear what you say. If you could summarize, and we're so excited to hear about all the women's groups that haven't been represented here at this meeting. But go ahead, Corsi, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I'm very happy to be on this platform. My name is Turina Wekosi. I'm a good Christian. I love God so much. I thank God for this book. It is opening my mind and establishing what God is doing in my life. And I have a burden for women. The great thing to why I really wanted to, although my husband had a group, I wanted also another group also for the women because they have a great burden. Women carry children, they take care of families, they take care of their husbands. Even when your husband comes home without anything, a good woman should get what to cook. So I gathered women so that we can share this knowledge of Urantia book, so that this knowledge can help us to unite us and we serve God faithfully, to know God in how he reigns in heaven and on earth, so that we can be strengthened to serve him while we know him from our hearts with a revelation. Secondly, I decided to start to make these women busy. We have started crafts. At the same time, we started Urantia studying. So these crafts help us to stand economically. Although we have just started, I know these crafts, when they are sold, they shall support us. You know, these women come from far. I told you they want to build their families. We want to do very well in every area. Our children, they are many times they are hungry, they want to eat, and we have to make sure that they have something. Sometimes there are many women here, they suffer from lack of food and lack of clothing for their children. So the other things come later, but when these children have nothing to put on, they suffer from pneumonia, they suffer from many diseases, and it becomes too much for us. And I was advised that as we study the word of God, at the same time, let us work together so that we can improve ourselves financially. Because these women, when they meet, they are crying. Some of them, they are talking this and this one wants to solve that problem, so that when we are seated and sharing together, they can be stable. We all have a lot of hope. By the way, there are so many women here in the town. The professionals, even these ones, the local ones, they all want to be part of this. There are even others who have not yet registered. There are so many. They want to join. Thank you very much for this knowledge. May God bless you so much, whoever is supporting us. We are very happy. The Urantia book. May God bless you so much for what you people are doing, and whoever is part of this family.
Well, thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. We're going to be looking forward to hearing how the book will influence your mind, like you said at first. And of course, it's all about loving service too. And thank you so much. So now, Dwayne, I can't see anybody. I have a black screen. Apparently Moses wants to have one last try. So if anybody can stay, let's give him a chance to express his thoughts and describe his work. Thank you.
I don't see that Moses has anything to say. It could be that Arthur has a quick comment or question.
Yes, I have a closing word, and that is that my vision is very similar to Paul and Monica's vision, which is that the entire Urantia Book community all over the world should support these small, growing communities of Urantia Book readers, especially in Africa. And we need to make sure that they stay alive through the next year or two, because there is a famine predicted. And that's why we are working to help spread the movement of food forests so that these people will not have to depend on food from Ukraine or food from anywhere else, but they will have their own food that they grow in their districts. And we must make sure that these people who are the beloved young face of the Urantia Book movement on this planet, we must make sure they stay alive. If each of the Urantia Book readers would put in $10 a month or $20 a month, this will make a difference and keep the Urantia Book movement growing. And that is all I have to say. Thank you so much for hosting this group.
So,
Thank you, Leanne.
yeah, thank you
Okay.
for that, Lindy Ann. So we have been challenged.
We have been challenged.
And
So
let us respond to that. Andre, I believe that you have your hand up.
I do. Yeah, thank you very much. And I apologize that I haven't been able to participate more actively in some of the questioning earlier. And I realize that people are needing to go and deal with that. But what this underscores for me is that we are at a very beginning level, that even though we have many, many people who are interested in the Urantia book, we keep hearing about really just essentially one thing, and that is the importance of Jesus. What I'd like to do is I'd like to have another time to get together to talk education. That's still something that we need to do. We've talked many, many times about how we go forward with programs to get greater numbers of people involved. We haven't talked about ways that we can economize and do simple study groups the way they're done in the rest of the world. It costs most people in North America, in South America, in Europe, or anywhere else, nothing to study the book. Whereas we found that we've had to put in money in order just to get people to get together. And we wonder at times whether or not that's not distorting our view of just how quickly this revelation is actually spreading through Uganda. It's one thing to call people together to study. It's another thing to actually have people learning the teachings of the Urantia book. And we need to do that. We need to focus on that. I've been listening very, very carefully from the dentist chair. I apologize that this coincided, but nobody asked me about timing. So this is where I ended up being. I look forward to following up with my Ugandan brothers and sisters and finding out just how we can assist you in getting from the ground level. Because it seems to me that for 3 years of study, even though many, many people have taken an interest in the Urantia book, because of the language barriers and other things, we are still very much at the ground level. And the leaders themselves are needing some education from what I have been hearing in terms of understanding the Urantia book in its entirety. I would love to help with that. We all would love to help with that, and we will do so in the future. We have many, many things to talk about. Thank you.
Andre, I want to talk with you sometime about maybe having a follow-up with Heart of America as part of that. So
we would be glad to. We would, the IFC and the IAC would be glad to have a follow-up with you. Thanks.
Okay. And I think that Clint, if you've got one quick comment, and that will be the end of it.
Just a quick question. Maybe Andre knows the answer to this. Are there any attempts right now or talk about translating the Urantia book into Swahili? And would that make it easier for
It's all in the talk stage, and Kiswahili is one of the languages of the region, but it's not the main language for Uganda. Luganda is one of the main languages spoken by Ugandans. And if we were to attempt a translation, we would first have to, locate a team of translators, people that were competent in both English and Luganda to start that translation. Kiswahili would also be good for the region. And again, that needs to be identified. I don't know what Urantia Foundation is already working on, but one thing that is of help, and that all of the study leaders in Uganda need to be paying attention to, is that Google Translate has now rolled out Luganda as a translation language, as well as Swahili, as well as, Ewe, from the region around Ghana, Twi, a number of other languages have been rolled out. And so even though these are going to be rudimentary, they're going to be like what Google Translate was for English, French, and Spanish in the beginning. They are going to get better. They are AI driven. The artificial intelligence will help to make those better. And that will help with studies. And hopefully that will help to demystify, excuse the background noise. I'm in a dental clinic. And we have a very happy dental student singing. So yeah, that would be the point. Is that we have those kinds of tools that are now available, and the leaders should begin to avail themselves of those kinds of tools. They're free. They cost nothing. They don't require money from us, and they allow you to go forward with your efforts. And that's going to be very, very important. The other thing that we have to say is that, as an organization, the Urantia Book Fellowship and the IFC are not NGOs. And so we can't help with community development programs, but we can help with the educational aspects of your programs.
Thank you. Thank you, Andre. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We've been going quite a while, and I really wanted to have a discussion of this, but we just don't have time. Perhaps we can do a follow-up in that regard sometime. Monica and Paul, do either of you have anything else to say before we go?
Well, I could just say, he's talking to me.
I would just like to thank everyone for being here. I can't talk while my wife is talking. I'd just like to thank everyone, both from Uganda, Pakistan, America, and Canada, Nigeria, for being here and sharing this time of getting to know each other.
Monica?
Ditto.
Okay. I think we've had a good program. I want to extend thanks to everyone who has participated in this. This will be on YouTube, the recording, I hope by Friday. And I will probably call it HAS: Spirit, Family, and U-Book. Okay, so you can put those words in, and I also will send out a link. I'm not sure I have the email for everyone who has participated here, but if you don't get a link from me, you could go to YouTube by Friday and look for it under HAS: Spirit, Family, and U-Book. And hopefully, if I've done my job, you'll be able to see it. I want to, Julius, Julius, I'm going to let you have one more comment to close this out. Looks Did you want to say something, Julius?
Yeah. Thank you for again giving me another opportunity to speak to a group of the Urantia Book Revelations. I'm very glad that I've attended, and very glad that I'm now with my study group, and even my wife has his, and we want to do more groups of the Urantia Book. And I know with Urantia, we know everything revealed in the book. It is with love, truth, and the true life teachings of Jesus Christ. As the people who are outside the Uganda, I send my Christian greetings to everyone. I'm very happy to be with you all, and I shall make more groups as possible. As you see, within 3 weeks, we have so far 2 groups now. That is one of my wife, and then again mine. So we hope for the best. Let's keep in touch. Let's have the support. Let's have the love. Let's have also communication. Let's also speak the truth. We also speak the truth because when we speak the truth, everything will be possible. That's why in the Bible there is also speak the truth, and the truth will set you free. So I'm here to tell you that with the Urantia Book, I'm ready to deliver the whatever is needed in terms of Urantia Book to the growing community. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Julius. And I'm going to end the recording right now.